Okay, today we're going to be working on section 8.2, graphing a quadratic function in the form of y equals x squared plus c. So we're going to use the same steps we did in the previous video for section 8.1. All right, so let's go ahead and start off with something here. I'm going to create an equation here. All right, so let's consider this one. And when you look at this, I want you to understand that this conforms to the standard form of a quadratic. Now, the difference here is I'm going to do something here. This plus 2 is really down there. So you know what you have in here is you have a value of b, which is 0. So that's important to understand as you do this. So let's go ahead and go through our steps. We should know by now we're going to look for the line of symmetry. All right, so that's going to be negative b, so you can see b is 0, so that's just 0, over 2 times a, which is 1, so that's 0. So that means that we can go ahead and graph that line of symmetry. Next thing we're going to do, we're going to create a table. Our function is x squared plus 2. Number one thing we do is find the vertex. So we take that number, substitute it into the formula, and you get the ordered pair 0, 2, and that's your vertex. Okay, so let's remember where that is. 0, 2 is right here. So that's the coordinates of your vertex. Now, let's pick a few more points that are close to the line of symmetry. Like let's try the number 1. And that'll give you a 3 as an answer. So that's 1, 3. So let's go ahead and graph that point, 1, 3. Let's pick one more number. So that's 2, 6. And there you go. Then remember what we learned before is that you're going to reflect those points that you found across the line of symmetry. So that one would be there, 2 units over, and go ahead and draw it. Now, do you notice how this compares to the graphs that we did in the first section? It looks like the same type of a parabola, just been moved up, in this case, 2 units. And you can kind of tell that by looking at your equation, actually. All right, let's go ahead and try a few more. All right, so let's go ahead and list an equation. Let's say we have y equals x squared minus 4, for example. Okay, now let's compare this to the standard form of a parabola. And what we're going to notice is that minus 4 is actually c. So there's like a 0 fraction, a is 1. So here we go. Let's get our line of symmetry. Here's b, it's 0. A is 1. And that's 0 again. We've seen a lot of that, and there's a reason for that, the way the equation's set up. Next, let's set up our table of values. Our function is x squared minus 4. All right, let's find our vertex first. And that's going to give you a negative 4. So 0, negative 4 is the vertex. Let's pick some more numbers. How about we do a 1? That'll give you 1, negative 3. Let's go ahead and plot that point. try 2. So that'd be 4 minus 4, it'd be 0. Okay, you gotta be careful plotting these points. There's 2, 0. Now we're going to reflect those points across your line of symmetry. Draw in your parabola as a U-shaped graph with arrows, and there you go. All right, getting the hang of it. You can see this thing went down 4 units, didn't it? You could probably tell that by looking at the equation. Okay, let's try another one. All right, let's try that. Okay, now once again, in this formula, you'll notice that plus 3 is actually C, isn't it? Which means that B has got to be a 0 to make this conform to that equation. All right, let's get our line of symmetry. Once again, B is still 0 for these at this point. Let's see what A is. It's negative 2. It's still 0. So the line of symmetry for this parabola is still there at 0. All right, let's set up a table of values. And let's see what we get here. Let's start off by putting 0, which is line of symmetry, in here. And this will give us our vertex. So that's actually going to be 0 times negative 2. 0 plus 3 is 3. 0, 3 is the vertex. Let's graph that point. All right. How about we put the number 1 in here? So 1 squared is 1 times negative 2 is negative 2 plus 3 is 1. So that'd be the point 1, 1. Let's go ahead and graph that. And finally, about a 2 in here. All right, so that'd be 4 times negative 2, negative 8 plus 3 is negative 5. 2, negative 5. Let's plot that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. And then finally, what we're going to do is reflect those points across the line of symmetry. Draw your parabola in there, and you can see it's starting to make sense when I look at these equations. That negative flipped it upside down and it moved up 3. Very interesting. Let's try another. Okay, how about this? So let's move that minus 2 down here so this makes a little bit more sense. All right, next step. Let's get a line of symmetry. So we can see that B is still 0. A is half. So that's 0. Time to set up a table of values. Let's throw our 0 in here. And that's going to give you negative 2. So 0, -2 is the vertex. Let's try some other points. So I'm going to be smart about this. I'm going to put the number 2 in here, just so I get a number that's divisible by 2. So 2 squared is 4. Half of 4 is 2. 2 minus 2 is 0. So that's 2, 0. Excuse me. Then I'm going to use 4. So 4 squared is 16. Half of 16 is 8. 8 minus 2 is 6. So I'm really being careful to pick numbers that are going to be able to be divisible by 2. 4 and then 6. All right, next thing I'm going to do, use the line of symmetry. I'm going to reflect some points across it. So 2 units away there, 4 units away there. I'm going to go ahead and draw in my parabola, nice U-shaped graph with some arrows. And there you go. I think we're getting the idea of that.